Howdy guys and gals, welcome to Tulsa Red Castle Gun Club, where we're going to be testing the brand new Bergara BXR. This is essentially an uprated Ruger 1022. Before we talked about some of the alternatives in order to get a really precise semi-auto. You can build up a 1022 into whatever you want. You can get some others like the Savage A22 that are just squared away right out of the box. And this one takes a lot of the 1022 ideas and just takes them to the nth degree. Everything about this is very precise, very polished. The trigger is beautifully light and crisp, and the action overall just seems to be a bit more beefed up and just prettier overall. It seems to be just very well squared away. The big deal though is the barrel. This is a carbon fiber barrel. They have two different options in the BXR. You can get the steel barreled model or you can get this carbon one, which is really stinking light. And the balance, as you would expect, especially with this stock that has just a little bit more heft to it than your average plastic stock, this one does balance a little bit further toward the rear than really far out there. To me, even though this has a very vertical grip, I think this is one that would actually work pretty well, not only in a kind of a target scenario. You could do silhouette with this, but I think this would also work pretty darn well as a squirrel gun, largely because of how light it is. Now up top we have the US Optics TS8X. This is my first time taking this out. It's one of your usual AR style optics, but it's just perfect for a 1020 or a 22 like this. Because it's going to be rather lightweight, kind of small, and it has a large zoom ratio, as you can see, 1 to 8x. So very good for practical targets at close distance. And then if you want to be able to stretch out, this has an FFP reticle that has, I think, about 10 milliradians of drop that you can adjust for. So you can make some shots out at longer distance if you want to. Great scope, perfect for ARs, but I think also perfect for this. Let's hit some targets. As you can see, I brought out more ammunition than your store probably has in stock right now. We have at least 10 types, and then I have another box over here with some special ammunition that we're gonna break out into its own video. It's from SK. I've never shot any of this before, but they have a load for all kinds of different uses, hunting, plinking, target. We're gonna see how these group through here. I think the rifle is going to be a really good platform for this. It should be very precise. Bergara makes really, really good stuff. And the barrel, as you can see, is free floated and it's rather large with that carbon fiber wrap around it. Let's see how it does. First, we'll look at a matched pair from Federal. This is my very favorite load of all time for 22 long rifle. This is incredible stuff. It's a hunting load, 38 grain, it moves out pretty fast, but this has turned in the tightest groups of any ammo I've ever shot through any rifle, I think. This stuff is wicked awesome, and it does kill squirrels, as I found out. And then this is the 40 grain kind of plinking and target load that goes along with it. We're gonna see how this matches up. The two are supposed to kind of function sort of the same. Just one's for the range and one is for out hunting. That's one of the coolest things about the BXR right there. All those little doodads that you have to get for the Ruger 1022 to make it so you can just pull the bolt back and let it go without having to mess with that little dongle there. It's all in here already and perfectly squared away. Plus, check out the mag catch right here. That big old mag paddle. Okay, looking good so far with both of those. Next up, we have the Battle of the Value Packs. We're gonna start off with Federal Champion. This is the bulk pack you can get at your local Walmart, or maybe you used to be able to. This is the Winchester 525, one of the most amazing rounds that I've ever seen. I've shot this over the chronograph before, and it has been out of this world precise as far as speeds go, and it actually turned in the best groups with my father-in-law's silhouette rifle. This is great stuff, hollow point. And then we have this newcomer, the Winchester Wildcat. I haven't tried this before. Copper-plated Dynapoint, so it's designed to be able to empty squirrels, and it's a 40 grain bullet moving out at 1255. See how it does. And we're gonna see if the BXR can run BX25 magazines. Oop. Okay, we had one failure. Aha! We had one smashed nose. Nope. Another failure. Let's see what we got. Okay, it looks like this one was a failure to extract. Okay. Okay, looks like we had a failure to feed. There we go. Ooh. We have a badly dented round. I don't know if it was that way to begin with or what. This one's messed up. It's definitely going in the duds box. All right, we'll try one more. The magwell's a little tight, but the BX mags are going in just fine. I can't entirely tell from here, but I think I'm gonna like that a lot. I think the Wildcat is some good ammo. Next, we're moving on to subsonics. So starting out, we're gonna have the Quiet 22. So if anything does not cycle in this rifle, it's gonna be this one. The next up is going to be the CCI Subsonic. This is the one that moves out at 1,050 feet per second. So, okay, this one is moving out at a decent speed. This one is only doing about 835. So yeah, big difference there. This one, they have tuned just perfectly. I have had pretty much every rifle cycle this, except one. That was a Marlin 60, and it might have just been that one Marlin 60. But everything else, I have tried pistols, I've tried rifles, they all like this subsonic. So we're gonna see if they like it today. Fantastic. This stuff always shoots well for me. It's the best subsonic I've tried. Oh no, that was the Quiet. Ooh. Hey, the Quiet does well. Now we'll try the CCI at 1,050 feet per second. Finally, we have an eclectic mix right here. This is Mini Mag. These are the round-nosed ones. So these are moving out at about 1235. After that, we're gonna have Federal Metal Target. These are the ones that I tested out at long range with the Savage A22. These ones generally group okay. They're very consistently okay, but I've definitely gotten tighter groups with some others. And here is Federal Auto Match. I haven't found a rifle that particularly likes this. This is another one that's just kind of okay. And then the last one is gonna be the new guy. This is gonna be Winchester Super X. This is a 40 grain bullet moving out at 1,435 feet per second. Hypervelocity, hollow point. This would be a really fun hunting round. Hey, actually managed to count that time. Go me. I don't think I ever mentioned how far away the targets were, 50 yards. And this kind of inverted some of the things that I was expecting. This little group that you see right here with the Federal 38 is looking quite good. So that's at about 3/4 of an inch. And yeah, about 3/4 of an inch right there. So nice one, Federal 38. The 40 actually turned in a little bit better than usual. So this is coming out to be about a little bit over an inch across there. But then once you throw in this flyer, we're looking at 1 3/4 inches right there. Federal 500, the bulk pack, this one did great. This little 4-shot group is coming out to be just a bit over a 1/2 inch. Once we throw in the flyer though, we're looking at about 3/4 of an inch. Still, not bad at all. The Winchester 555 actually opened up quite a bit. This should be a 5-shot group right here, unless I missed something. But that's coming out to be about 1.5 inches right there. I think that's 2 shots through that hole. But yeah, this one did string quite a bit. I think that this just has to do with barrel harmonics. Usually these do shoot very, very well in some of the other rifles that I have. I think it just may be the length of the barrel we're dealing with here. The Winchester Wildcat was looking pretty good through there. But let's see what we have in total. So it's a bit over 2 inches, just slightly over 2 inches on that guy. And here's one that I was not expecting at all. The CCI Quiet. Usually just kind of does, I mean, it gets them in there. But this gun really liked it. Look at this. We're looking at 7/8 of an inch across the extremes. And as you'll notice, it had no trouble cycling. By contrast, my favorite subsonics actually came out to be about 1.5 inches across on that one. Good 4-shot group, 1 flyer. This could have been a sudden gust of wind. There really isn't much wind out here. I think that that was just a legit flyer right there. Mini mags usually don't do very well in my rifles at all. They just kind of do okay. But this one turned out pretty darn well. We're looking at about 7/8 again across that 5-shot group. Federal Gold Medal Target apparently likes a target rifle because we are looking at 3/4 of an inch across there. Federal Auto Match, usually a substandard performer for me, turned in about 1 1/8. And now for the newcomer, the Winchester Hypervelocity Super X. That little 4-shot group is about a 1/2 inch. Unfortunately, we do have 1 flyer, and I do not recall doing any weird trigger presses. This is a legitimate flyer, and that opens us up to more than 1 1/4 inches. I still think that this portends good things. And there you have it, guys, the Bergara BXR. Accurate, light, pretty handy. Great stock. I love the comfort of the stock back there. But I should point out a couple of other things. First off, you do have a threaded muzzle with an attached muzzle protector right there, so you just thread that off and you can put your suppressor on. The stock comes with a couple of QD sockets. You have a couple up at the front, and then you have 2 at the rear as well. And that Picatinny rail that you see right there can sit so low because this is actually part of the action. That's not a separate piece. I love that feature. The stock itself, as you can see, has a pretty high comb on it. Very easy to get behind the scope on this. With the weird way that I was shooting just a second ago, I had to really pick my face up in order to see. But when I'm actually laying down or offhand taking a regular shot, it just comes very naturally to the eye. The trigger is light and crisp. And of course, all the little paddles and parts are just in the right spots. It's very easy to drop the mag. It has a very easy bolt stop and the usual push button safety right there. Easy all the way around. Now make sure that you come back and check out the next video because we're going to be taking a look at this ammunition right here. 5 different loads of SK ammunition. I've never fired it before. I have no idea what to expect. The only thing I'll say is that my fingers are really greasy after touching this stuff. It seems to be very, very lubed. Thank you to everybody that makes these videos possible. Thank you, Bergara, for sending the rifle for me to check out. I can't wait to actually put it to some practical tests or some really silly tests. We'll see which one we get up to first. But thank you, US Optics, for the scope up top. And thank you to patrons of the Destructive Arts that are continuing to provide a lot of the extra gear that you see in the background, like some of the ammunition, all the audio gear and cameras and all that. Thank you, Sportsman's Guide, Stan and Mary at the 338 Lapua Magnum level. And then at the 300 Win Mag level, we have a newcomer. We have Howard, we have Peter, we have Joseph Davis, and we have Mr. No Name. Thank you guys, and thank you to everybody else that's been chipping in $1 or $2 a month to help these come out. You really do take a lot of the pressure off me and make it so that I can buy ammunition, buy powder, and get the best production value out there that I possibly can. See you guys around.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Even if you didn't like this particular content, go ahead and subscribe. There's probably something coming that's more up your alley. Check out this playlist right here. This is going to have videos in a similar vein to what you just watched. These 2 videos we cherry-picked for you. And finally, The Social Regressive is on Patreon. So you can become a patron of the Destructive Arts and earn some goodies while helping us to provide high-quality videos just by kicking us a few bucks a month. Thanks a bunch for your patronage.